Hi, everyone. I'm Carey Peña, and this is Front Doors TV. We are broadcasting today from the Center for Positive Media. With me here in studio, Nathan Smith, my friend, the CEO from CAS. So good to have you back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, Carey. Thanks for having me.
You have been busy. So setting up a television segment is not the easiest with you because you are always on the run and you're doing incredible work. I want to start first by talking to the audience who might not be familiar with CAS. What all do you do?
So Central Arizona Shelter Services, known normally by CAS, we are first and foremost, our North Star is that we are an emergency shelter provider. We provide emergency shelter across 3 different locations. We're best known for a single adult shelter that serves 600 single adults every single night. But we've also got a family shelter called Vista Colina. We have 30 apartment style units that we're moving families in. They could be anywhere from 2 to we've had 10 people in a household there. And then we have the Senior Haven, which is a shelter for people who are 55 years and older experiencing homelessness. It's a converted motel. So everyone, just like at the family shelter, also at the senior shelter gets their own unit. So that's what we do. We provide shelter and we provide case management services for those people across those 3 locations. And we have upwards of 850 people with us on any given night.
The case management is something that I know you've been very focused on. Why is that part of the equation so important?
Case management's huge. It's honestly the difference between someone oftentimes getting into a permanent living situation stably with the supports that they need and not. When we go back and we review the data, that's one of the biggest correlates to a positive housing outcome is were they actively engaged with their case manager? Yeah. And so, for something that is so simple, it does so many different things. It's a person's world. It's a person's connection to the world of all the resources that help them end their homelessness and stay stably housed. So for us, we include case management into every single one of our program models. And kind of excited to talk a bit about what we're doing at the family shelter because we've revamped the case management model there and are starting to see some really great success.
Well, let's lean into that for a moment because I know that you've had since you came in as CEO, you've been really focused on the elderly and families. And unfortunately, the need in both those areas is great.
It really is. Yeah. I mean, last check, there was over 300 people on the family prioritization list waiting to get into either shelter or housing, just 300 families, excuse me. And so for us, what we've done in the last year is revamped our program in a couple of key ways. First, for the 30 units, we've kept 26 of them that receive referrals through this coordinated entry system that's managed by another company. And they just make sure that the next person on the list in the community comes in. But we pulled 4 of those off of the coordinated entry list, and now they're just crisis units. A person can walk up, a police department can bring someone. City of Phoenix is our main referral source. And so we want to make sure that we provide the easiest possible access for a family who's hit that really difficult time to get into the places like Vista Colina that they need to get into. So, and the other thing that we've done with Vista Colina, the family shelter, is we've paired now a housing-focused case manager with a family stabilization case manager. What the family stabilization case manager does is ensures that all of those things that relate to a child's experience, staying connected to school, the parent-family dynamics, and other things for the kiddos, we're also still tracking with and making sure those things don't slip through the cracks while we case manage the heads of household to better employment and to housing. So on the Vista Colina side and for our families, that's what we've done to revamp the program.
I really am not a fan of asking simple questions to what I know is a complex issue, but I'm going to do it here just for a moment. I'm sorry in advance. Homelessness, it is so complex. You're in this day in, day out. What is causing this rate of homelessness?
So there's a lot of things. I think I always look at both the macro social and the micro social factors. The biggest culprit for the rise in homelessness in Maricopa County is quite simple. So actually, simple question, simple answer. Wages are not keeping up with cost of living. I mean, it really comes down to that. And we see it day to day because we'll have someone reestablish employment, start pulling in income at even the senior facility. I mean, we've got people who are working there. And then the next thing is, okay, where do we go next? The stock of housing that is available for people who are not high income earners is simply not great enough for us to move people out of the system as quickly as we need to. So that's something that we as a community, that we as leaders in the state of Arizona, leaders in fighting homelessness as the state of Arizona, we have to continue to ensure that we put resources into building new affordable housing while taking care of people who are experiencing homelessness. That's the biggest issue. But then it's compounded by, we still as a community have not figured out how to do a great job of addressing substance use disorder for people who have been chronic substance abusers, for people who are seriously mentally ill. And so we see things like that. We have so many broken family dynamics where what historically had been the vehicle to catch people, the family, is now dissolved in so many cases. And so you have also those microsocial factors that when you don't have enough money and it's hard to afford your place to stay, the drug addiction that you may have just makes the problem so much worse.
As we round things out, the tax credit is available to Arizona taxpayers. And I just wanted you to touch on how much that could help. For every $96, that helps you put an individual or a family up for one night, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. And that makes sure that they get fed, that they've got clothes on their back, that they've got access to the resources they need to move out. And the tax credit is huge for us when people who many don't realize that money comes back to you. And so you can donate that to a charity like CAS, help us on our mission to ensure that everybody in our community has a home. And then you get it back, right? So it's huge for us. I mean, that is one of the main vehicles that we use to continue to do the work that we do. And I love it because it indicates that there's a lot of community support. Another thing that says, you're not on your own in this fight.
Because it can be tough for you some days. What keeps you going? What inspires you?
Outcomes. I love outcomes. I love when I read the story of a person who came to our senior shelter, was medically vulnerable, and as a result of being in the hospital for an extended period of time, suffering multiple strokes, ended up losing their housing situation. So now they're coming to the front door of CAS. We engage them, we love on them, we put the supports around them, and ultimately restore their income, put some money in their bank, help them move back into a new home, and potentially reconnect with family and other social supports. Every one of those wakes me back up the next day to fight through all the muck so that we can make sure that person has an opportunity to change their lives.
I love it. Honor to have you back in studio. Nathan, thank you so much.
I'm glad to be here, Carey. Thank you.
And just give people the website so they can check it out.
Yeah, come visit us at www.cassaz, that's CASSAZ.org.
All right. Thanks, Nathan. And thanks to all of you for watching. This is Front Doors TV. I'm Carey Peña.